Welcome back. This is Key Point on TV3. We're live on 3FM 92.7. Also live on TV3 Ghana on Facebook, DSTV channel 279, all across the world on 3news.com. Now, this week, we've seen what many people expected that would happen. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia going to, as it were, file his nomination and said a number of things. In that long speech, he did not talk about the economy. And many people are asking exactly why. Especially because it was on the basis of that he won the hearts of many Ghanaians going into the 2016 elections. The economy is at the heart of this election in 2024 and matters arising. He's been the chair, or he is still, to find out, the chair of the economic management team of this economy. And so, yesterday, many were expecting to hear from him about this economy and many other things that he's been silent about. But he says he wants to take Ghana to the next level. Exactly what does that mean? We have Dr. Tia Abdul Kabiru Mahama. He's a technical advisor, Office of the Vice President. He, by extension, is a member of the Dr. Bawumia campaign team. Also, private legal practitioner Martin Pebu. He is the convener of the Komipreko Reloaded demonstration. He is also a leader of one of three individual bondholder groups in this country. Gentlemen, good morning.
Morning.
Thank you so much for coming. Also, Roxanne Nelson Dafiamepo is South Dai, Member of Parliament, also a private legal practitioner, will be joining us. And we will talk about a number of things happening in the court of law with Charles Bisu, and then the latest that the NDC has been reacting to as well, related to James Jachekwason and yesterday's ruling on his day-to-day appearance in court ahead of the Asin North by-election and how that impacts on the NDC's own strategy going forward. But we heard from the Vice President from that video we just played. Dr. Tia Abdul Kabiru Mahama. What does the Vice President, in fact, yesterday, that long speech declaring his intentions officially, we did not hear him touch on the economy. Why?
All right, so good morning to you, Mr. Alfred, and good morning to my senior brother, Lawyer Pebu. And then good morning to your cherished viewers out there. I rightly said yesterday the Vice President submitted and filed his nomination form pursuant to Article 12 of the MPP's Constitution. The Vice President took that decision after extensive consultation with the hierarchy of the party, the rank and file of the party.
Yeah.
The Vice President took the opportunity after the filing of nomination to address the teaming supporters of the MPP that had gathered to support him file and submit his form. The Vice President, by that particular address, was to formally launch his campaign to kickstart the processes leading up to the election, first with the Special Electoral College and subsequently the main delegates conference. The Vice President touched on a number of issues. He spoke about the fact that, he started with his humble beginning from Sakasaka GSS to the Tamil Senior High School. And where he proceeded to Oxford University. The Vice President talked about hard work, where he had to fend for himself by doing labor. The Vice President was able to connect to the people, where he noted that he had been engaged in by-day work in order to take care of himself. The Vice President was also clear that the government has achieved some successes despite the current economic challenge. And if people wonder if the Vice President did not speak about the economy, I wonder what the person means when the Vice President talk about the over 2 million jobs being created. It's something about the economy. I don't know when they say that he did not talk about the economy. When the Vice President mentioned that this government has achieved massive infrastructure development and you planning for food and jobs, they are all part of the economy. The digitization of the economy is part of the economy. I don't know what they mean when the Vice President stated that irrespective of these challenges, this government for the first time has achieved a number of successes and the relative stability that has been brought. People may be expecting the Vice President to mount a podium. I won't even say it was a long speech. I mean, a 10-page speech running for about 12 minutes.
10 pages,
yeah,
12 minutes is a long speech.
12 minutes.
I don't know how many minutes you want the Vice President to speak before you describe it as a long speech.
Alfred,
12 minutes of the Ghanaian people's time is a long speech, 10 pages. And when I'm talking about he not talking about the economy, I'm talking about the fact that the acknowledgement of the fact that we are in crisis. We are an economy that is in crisis. We've gone to the IMF. And he's no mean a person. One time described as economic wizard, whiz kid. He won the hearts of the Ghanaian people based on the kind of presentations that he made. And at the time, his own understanding of the state of the economy. Okay? And then also some of the things that he proposed and stood for. And so, yes, some reference was made about certain things that have been done. But the current state of the economy, which he is presiding over as the chair of the economic management team, which is in crisis and is at the IMF for healing, he did not talk about that specifically. That's what I'm talking about.
And that was the Vice President chose the occasion to address certain issues he felt they were pertinent. And the Vice President has also indicated that a detailed manifesto is going to be presented. So that is not to suggest that the Vice President did not or was run away from speaking about the economy. The Vice President, even on the back of the challenges, at the heat of the crisis, he spoke about the economy. So, I don't see the need why the Vice President, again, will mount another lecture on the economy when the opportunity for him was to present or to announce to Party Faithful that he has submitted his form. So that is the context within which I'm also making the point that those calls, with the greatest of respect, they are not calls founded on good faith, because if you expect the Vice President to mount a whole lecture on the economy at an opportunity that he was given to present his form, it is a foul call to make. But that said, the Vice President would speak about the economy. The Vice President is going to campaign on the economy. The Vice President is going to propose measures. And in any case, the challenges that we had faced, the President together with the team members, as a form of collective responsibility, are doing everything to bring back normalcy to the economy. We have some relative stability in the economy now. Prices of goods are coming down. Cannot be crisis.
Hold on. Prices of goods are coming down where? What kind of prices? What kind of goods are you talking about?
The basic measure of the general prices of goods is inflation. From 53 to 41. You cannot tell me it is not a reflection of the market. Right?
But, you know what? No. But you are an economist, so I would want you to appreciate the fact that inflation going down, and I know you know this, so I want you to be very frank with the Ghanaian people. Inflation going down, in figurative terms, does not, you see, you are smiling. It does not necessarily mean that prices of goods and services are going down on the market. You know this. I don't want you to present that inflation is going down. So when I go to the market, price of goods and services have gone down. That is not the reality that the Ghanaian people who are watching you this morning are facing.
Fred, if you will give an opportunity, if you will want an occasion without taking a stance, okay, I will. Yeah.
Wanting education?
Of course. I mean, you are holding a point. You are holding a view, which I think is totally different.
But do you know that when you go to the market, prices of goods and services haven't gone down?
And now I'll tell you why I'm saying it has gone down. So it is a question you've asked. Unless, of course, you are taking a position.
No.
If you are taking a position that prices of goods haven't gone down and any explanation I'm proffering you will not take it, then that is well and good. But my duty is to explain to you, to ask questions, for me to explain to you why I am saying that prices of goods and services are going down. You may pinpoint a specific item to which prices of it hasn't gone down or is going up. But I am saying that the general prices, because we are dealing with a whole lot of goods. If I go to the market, for instance, we pay for transportation. Is that not price of a services that we're paying? It was recently reduced by 10%. Is that not reduction?
No, did you say that transport was reduced recently by 10%?
I am saying that
that's not true. That's not.
Can I please let me make my point. Let me make my point.
Dr. Kabir, let me tell you this. The reason why I realize that you are not in touch with the realities on the ground. So maybe I would rather give you the education about the state of affairs, the reality of the situation on the ground. Mm-hmm. There was an announcement of an expected reduction in transport fares. I still patronize transport, and I know you don't. That's why you believe that there was a decrease in transport fares. It didn't happen. The GPRT people said that, you know what, there's no basis for that reduction because they are still experiencing an increase in the spare parts and other items that impact on their work. And so they would not heed to that directive for a reduction in transport fares. So it did not happen. So what you're saying is not true.
So now, no one gave them a directive. It is not true that they were given a directive. That's what I'm saying, that you are confusing and convoluting the issues. One, no one gave the transport union any directive. No, they came out with a statement. Please, let me make a point. They came out with a statement.
The leadership of the GPLTU.
Can I make a point?
I'm not heckling you. I'm only telling you.
You are heckling me.
I'm telling you the reality of the situation on the ground.
I gave you the opportunity to make your point. So when I'm making my point, with the greatest of respect, I expect you to allow me make my point. Okay? The transport union came out with a statement announcing a 10% reduction in transportation price. No one gave them a directive. Okay, let's even take it, they didn't reduce it. Prices at the pump reduced from 21 Ghana cedi per litre when you were announcing it to something like 13 Ghana cedi per litre. Okay, this is verifiable at the pumps. Is that not a price of a good? All right, so if you tell me that prices of goods are not coming down and you are fixating yourself on one specific issue. You are not being frank and fair to the issues. So let us discuss the issue without a stand or without taking a very rigid stand on this issue. For instance, fuel prices have come down from 21 Ghana cedi per litre to 13 Ghana cedi per litre. Anyone can go to the pump and verify that. So let us have the discussion without this, extreme position on the issue. So that is a fact.
Okay. So because you make reference to transport fares going down, I needed to let you know that that's not true. That's number one. I think that is established and we all accept that it didn't happen, correct? The second one is that you and I, and I'm sure every other person seated here and those watching, appreciate what basic economics means. And so if, as an economist, you know that inflation going down in figurative terms does not necessarily mean that prices of goods and services are going down on the market. Inflation essentially means, if it's going down, the rate at which prices of goods and services going up in price has reduced. It does not necessarily mean, and you're an economist, I know you know this, it does not necessarily mean that price of goods and services are going down. It only talks about, in figurative terms, the rate at which prices of goods and services in price are going up has reduced.
So
the government statistician takes time to explain these things. And as an economist, I know you know this.
All right, so the point I'm making is that if you have inflation of 53%, okay, never in the history of the country, unless in the era of the 1980s that we have disinflation, okay, where you have prices being 10 Ghana cedi, the following day is going to be 9 Ghana cedi, okay. So we all understand that. Never in the history, not even in the NDC government, that we have had prices of goods reducing as in the sense coming down from its previous value of 9 Ghana cedi to 8%. Okay, then that is the period that you have a disinflationary pressure. And no economy will want such a tendency. Okay, so I mean, we've gone past that. But when we say prices of goods and services are coming down, we are basically speaking the same language. And when something was 10 Ghana cedi yesterday and the pace of increase was around 50%, now the pace of increase is 40%. That is what we mean. And that is what we measure the health of the economy with. Okay, so when we are speaking, we all understand that this is the context within which we speak it. Unless, of course, someone here can give me any data to point to the fact that within the Fourth Republic, we wake up in a particular day and an item that was costing us 8 Ghana cedi has become 5 Ghana cedi. That has never happened because there's a general principle in economy that prices are not sticky downwards. Okay, this is a tried learning we all know. So when we are making this point, we need to establish that as well. Two, when we say prices are not coming, I'll give you an example, one single example that the price of fuel has come down. Okay, that is prices coming down. So we may disagree on specific items in the basket, which I am the first person to admit that some items in the basket may not be experiencing downward prices, but some items in the basket are experiencing downward prices. So when we are asked to educate the people on this, the fidelity to the facts, and not to push an agenda that suggests that this government hasn't done anything, will not be fair to the narratives. So that is the point I want to make in this regard. That the vice president was given opportunity. He spoke about a number of issues. He promised Ghanaians that he's coming to present a detailed manifesto to support his bid or to become the president of the Republic of Ghana. The vice president is not run away from the record as part. He understands that there's a collective responsibility as a member of the government. When we know that as vice president, the buck does not stop with him. Okay, that is the reason why he's coming out as his own man with his own vision. In order, no two individuals are the same, and no two government will ever be the same. President Mills said he would consult the former president 24 hours, but his path was different from that of President Rawlings. John Mahama, who came, was a different person from President Mills. Nana Akufo-Addo is a different president. President Nana Akufo-Addo Akufo-Addo, inshallah, Bawumia will be a different president. So that we have to put in context that we cannot be bogged down by the fact that Bawumia was a member of the MPP or is a member of the MPP, he's been part of the MPP government, he's part of cabinet, he's part of the economic management team. That record he will defend.
Okay, is he still the chair of the economic management team?
He is still the chairman of the economic management team.
Okay,